morning once again. I'm teacher Bernard Ochieng Olango, a teacher of chemistry. In our previous lesson, we did learn some of the very important reactions of sulfur, including reduction reactions of sulfur 4 oxide. We said some of the reactions include reducing potassium manganese 7 from manganese 7 ions, which are purple, to a colorless manganese 2 ions. And again, reaction it reduces potassium dichromate 6 from orange to green due to formation of chromium 3 ions. Today, we want to discuss some of the reactions, like for example, formation of sulfur 6 oxide. Sulfur 6 oxide from indeed where we can obtain sulfur 6 oxide in the laboratory. Sulfur 6 oxide generally, production of sulfur 6 oxide, we can obtain sulfur 6 oxide. That one is sulfur 4 oxide. Just a minute. Yes, sulfur 6 oxide is here. Sulfur 6 oxide, yes. Sulfur 6 oxide can be obtained in the laboratory. The question is, how do we obtain sulfur 6 oxide in the laboratory? I have here the presentation how we can obtain sulfur 6 oxide from the laboratory. This is sulfur 4 oxide getting into this particular reagent bottle, where we have this bottle contains concentrated sulfuric acid. This one is H2SO4 liquid. It shows that it's sulfuric acid. So this sulfur 4 oxide combined with oxygen, when they get through this concentrated sulfuric acid, the essence of using this concentrated sulfuric acid is to dry the gases. So these gases, both sulfur 4 oxide and oxygen, the moment they pass through platinized asbestos, in this case, platinized asbestos is acting as a catalyst. Sulfur 4 oxide will react with the oxygen to form sulfur 6 oxide. Now, this sulfur 6 oxide can be passed in a tube where we have this tube is placed in a high salt mixture so that it can condense. It can condense the vapor. Sulfur 6 oxide forms white crystals once it is condensed. The role of this high salt mixture is to condense the vapor to white crystals of sulfur 6 oxide. This is the way through which you can prepare it in the laboratory, sulfur 6 oxide, from sulfur 4 oxide and oxygen. As we have said, that sulfur 4 oxide, when passed through concentrated sulfuric acid, the essence of passing through sulfuric acid is to ensure that it is dry, and then it is then again passed through. We have ice salt mixture. Its main purpose is to condense the gas to white solid of sulfur 6 oxide. Another way of preparing sulfur 6 oxide is through thermal decomposition of sodium hydrogen sulfate. If you heat it strongly, it decomposes to form sodium sulfate, water, and sulfur 6 oxide. As I told you, sulfur 6 oxide it cannot be collected using our water method. Use downward delivery or upward displacement of air. Now, another important concept here once again is the test for the sulfate and sulfite ions. These are two species. The question is, how do we differentiate between a sulfate and a sulfite? Sulfate is SO4, 2 negative, and sulfite is SO3, 2 negative. There are very important reactions that you need to use to differentiate between the two. One, when you add hydrochloric acid, for information, the sulfate and sulfite, the moment you add barium nitrate or barium chloride to a solution where sulfite or sulfate is, a wet precipitate is formed. A wet precipitate is due to formation of barium sulfate or barium sulfite. Now, to distinguish between the two, you add dilute hydrochloric acid to the mixture, and in a case where there is barium sulfate, like in this one here, barium sulfate, the precipitate will persist. The precipitate will persist, and it will not dissolve. It will not dissolve from a kind of solution. But the moment, if it was barium sulfite or sulfate ions in solution, and then you add hydrochloric acid, the hydrochloric acid will react with the sulfite. Remember, acids react with sulfides to produce sulfur 4 oxide. So in this case, you can, if you react barium sulfide with hydrochloric acid, you get barium chloride, sulfur 4 oxide, and water. This is the equation, the ionic equation of the reaction, where we have barium ions separated, barium ions, sulfate ions, sulfur 4 oxide, and also water. This is now the ionic equation for the reaction shown there. Now this is a clear test that indeed, the moment you observe that the word precipitate has been solved, after adding hydrochloric acid, then you confirm the presence of sulfite ions. Remember, sulfite ions is SO3. Now, sulfite ions, you can as well use dilute nitric acid, may be used instead of hydrochloric acid. And we cannot use sulfuric acid. Remember, sulfuric acid generally has sulfate ions, and the moment you add sulfuric acid, you are adding more sulfate ions, and then the precipitate will persist. And that is the reason why we don't use sulfuric acid, but instead we use dilute nitric acid or dilute hydrochloric acid. And that is how we differentiate between sulfite and sulfate ions. Another area that I wanted us to see is the test for sulfur 4 oxide. Generally, there are several tests that can be used to confirm the presence of sulfur 4 oxide. One of the tests is when you place a moist, a very important one, moist litmus paper, blue litmus paper, moist blue litmus paper, it turns red and then it is bleached. In our previous lesson, I did explain how sulfur 4 oxide bleaches. So why is it turning red? It will turn red because the gas is acidic due to formation of sulfuric 4 acid, and then sulfuric 4 acid will now bleach it again because sulfuric 4 acid acts as a bleaching agent. So in this case here, this is one way of testing the presence of sulfur 4 oxide. Another way of testing the presence of sulfur 4 oxide is by passing the gas through acidified potassium manganate 7. Potassium manganate 7s are always purple, but the moment you pass the gas, the purple color turns colorless due to formation of manganese 2 ions. This colorless, the color colorless is as a result of formation of manganese 2 ions. This purple is due to presence of manganate 7 ions. The one that is now universally accepted to be used as a test for sulfur oxide is potassium dichromate 6. Indeed, the moment you bubble sulfur 4 oxide through acidified potassium dichromate 6, it has to be acidified. The color changes from orange to green. The essence is the chromium 6 ions, which are orange, turns to chromium 3 ions, chromium 6 ions turns to chromium 3 ions, which are green in color. And that is how we test. Any of this can be used to test the presence of sulfur 4 oxide. Now, what are the uses of this sulfur 4 oxide? Very important. There are some few uses here that we have listed here. We have itemized the uses. One, it is used in large-scale manufacture of sulfuric acid, as we are going to see in our next lesson. It is used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is manufactured through contact process. Again, it is used for making calcium hydrogen sulfide, and as we agreed before, calcium hydrogen sulfide is used for bleaching wood pulp in the paper industry during manufacture of papers. So the moment they are bleached, they become white, and now you use them. Again, it can as well be used as a fumigant, and as well it can be used to preserve jam and fruit juices, the ones that we use in our homes. Another area that I wanted us to discuss, that we are going to discuss in large scale, this is the large scale manufacture of sulfuric acid contact process. Here, I want you to note the following. One, There are key things that I want us to discuss here, and that will also proceed in our next lesson. One is the raw materials. Sulfuric acid is very important, as we shall see the use of sulfuric acid, and therefore there is need for us to produce it in large scale. Now, the raw materials that are used, one, we need sulfur. Should you mean sulfur, we need an ore of sulfide. Sulfide, it can be lead sulfide, sometimes we call it galena, or lead sulfide, like this. Sulfide, sometimes we call it galena. Sometimes you can have zinc sulfide. This one here is called zinc blend. Zinc blend, like that. This ore can be used in place where sulfur is missing. But sulfur or any of this ore can be used as a raw material. And again, we also need air. Air, particularly oxygen. Oxygen is required in large-scale manufacture of sulfuric acid. I'm going to make some summarized steps of how sulfuric acid is obtained in large scale in our next lesson. We are going to stop there, and I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Let us meet in our next lesson. Thank you very much.